Okay, here we are going to look at using the TVM Solver to solve financial math problems. It's much quicker than using the algebraic formula, so I'm just going to show you both and see how easy this is to use for those last couple of quizzes that you're going to be writing. So I've provided the link here. It's also on the hub. And you'll get a screen that looks like this. When you type on this link, you'll get a screen that looks like this. So n, you'll see the first number here is n. So n is number of deposits or payments if you are going to borrow some money. I is the interest rate. And you won't have to change that to the decimal. This tool will do it for you. PV is present value. So that's what you are starting with. So that's your starting amount. I didn't want to do that in highlighter. Let's get rid of that. So this is your start amount. Then we have payment. So payment is only going to be relevant if we are doing an annuity. I'll just write that in here. So this is only for annuities. It's not for compound interest. Then we have FV, which is your future value. So that's what you have at the end. And then we have PY and CY are always the same. And CY is how often it's compounded. So compounding per year, and PY is payment per year. So usually we deposit money at the same rate as we get it compounded. Those are very rarely different. That's usually something that we do in a grade 12 class, but not in grade 11. Okay, so let's look at some examples. So here we have John investing $1,200 in an account that pays 8% interest per year. So since he is only making one deposit, then we're going to use the compound interest formula. So the present amount is given as $1,200. The interest rate is given as 8%, so we'll write that as a decimal. It is compounded quarterly, so we'll divide that by 4. And then n will be quarterly for 5 years. So it's going to be 4 times 5, which will be 20. And then we're going to put this all into the calculator. 8% divided by 4 is 2%, so that'll be 1.02 to the power of 20. Multiply that by 1,200 and you get approximately $783 and some change. If we were using this TVM Solver, it's pretty easy to put these numbers in. So n is 20, which is the same. A or I is the interest rate. You can see that we just put in 8. We don't have to change it to a decimal, because what will happen is down here when we tell the calculator what to compound it by, so 4, it will take that 8 and it will divide by 4. So it will do that for you. There is no payment because we're only depositing once, and we're starting with $1,200. So what we want to solve for is the future value, or the end amounts. We click on solve for FV and you will see that you get the answer, and it will be the same as using the formula. Okay, here we have another compound interest problem, but this time we're looking to find the end amount. So now we need 5,000 at the end. So we want 5,000 at the end. We don't know what we want to start with, so that's what we have to figure out. The interest rate is 3%. We're going to compound that monthly, so we'll divide that by 12, and n will be monthly 12 for 2 years, because we have 2 years to save, so it'll be 24. And so if we want to solve for P, we're going to take the 5,000 and we're going to divide by this bracket to find the starting amount, or P. And if we type that into the calculator, we'll end up with approximately 4709 and some change. If we use a TVM solver, we just type in these numbers. So N is 24. You can see that here. Interest rate is 3%. We don't have to change it to a decimal. There is no payment. It's just one lump sum at the end. This time we have the end amount, future value, and it's compounded monthly. And this time we're solving for the present value. Okay, in the last problem, we'll look at an annuity. So remember that an annuity is where you make more than one deposit or payment. So you'll usually see the word every or each. That means that you're depositing on a regular basis. So this is the formula for annuity. It is R. R is your regular payment or a regular deposit. And then we have IN, which we already know what they are. Okay, so this time I'm depositing $150, so that's the regular payment. The interest rate is 4%. We're going to compound it monthly, so let's divide that by 12. N will be monthly, so 12 times 6 years. So there will be 72 deposits. So we'll put 72 there. Don't forget to subtract 1. And then that is over the interest rate, which is 4% monthly. So we're going to calculate all of this on our calculator. And you should end up with approximately 12,183. If you're doing this on the TVM Solver, you'll see that N is 72, which is what we determined here. The interest rate is 4%, which is compounded monthly, so 12 and 12. The present value is 0 because you're not starting with anything, but we're making a regular payment or deposit of 150, and we're going to solve for the future value, and you'll see that we end up with the same result. So when you're doing the financial math, you are certainly able to use the TVM Solver, especially if it's a multiple choice or short answer question. Some questions will ask you to write out your solution, so you will probably need to use the formula sometimes, but this is also a good way to check your answer and make sure that you have the correct answer.